Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Playcast with your co-hosts, Paraka the Goblin and
Ghost, your co-host.
And this week we're going to go ahead and talk about basically Souls-like games about Souls-like games.
Episode 31, the Dark Souls of Dark Souls of Dark Souls.
Of Dark Souls. But basically, ever since Dark Souls' popularity, there's been a lot of games that wanted to not just like copy Dark Souls, but a lot of people wanted to make games that were truly difficult and punishing, right?
Yeah.
And that's basically what we're going to be talking about. I'm going to go ahead and let you kind of talk about one of the first ideas that you got.
Well, I guess what makes the Dark Souls?
Yeah, what makes the Dark Souls?
What makes a Souls series like, I guess?
Well, yeah, for basically, like what makes a game Souls-like?
Yeah.
Like there's different types of difficulty out there. Like there's stuff like such as shmups with the bullet hells and stuff like that, but that's not Dark Soulsy. We're talking about stuff that's like repetitive attack combinations and stuff like that, and basically learning these attack patterns and just having enough opportunity to basically like get your attacks in.
Yeah.
And that's it. So you're playing very defensively.
Yeah.
For the most part. That's basically what we're talking about.
Learning their tells, and then, practice makes perfect. Which is, like, interesting, because you gotta know how to you gotta know how to balance the difficulty, too, because a lot of times you see certain games where, it's so hard, but it's cheap as hell.
Yeah, it's like there is things you can't dodge ever.
Yeah.
Ever. And it takes away like 3/4 of your health, and so you just hope that they don't use the attack and stuff like that.
Yeah, or kill before it does it.
Yep. There's stuff
Look
like
at
that.
you, Mikolash, you bastard. But
yeah, no, that's basically what we're talking about. The groundwork, as it were.
Okay, I guess the first one I played was Lords of the Fallen.
Okay.
It's a slower, clunkier Dark Souls clone, because it came a little bit right after, but it's done pretty well, but it's really, really slow. Like this, and then your dodge roll like moves you like 1 or 2 feet, and then you just go in for the attacks. It's been a while since I picked it up though, but if you're good at backstabs, just exploit the hell out of that. I got to a boss where you had to, I think there's like these swords he summons, and you either got to get out of the way or destroy them before it explodes, and you can't dodge like this huge AoE attack. So, I don't know, I got to that part, I kept dying, and I'm like, okay, this is super frustrating. Maybe I'll go back and grind and try and beat it, but it tries. What about you?
For me, I haven't really played many like very adventure-y like Dark Souls or Demon Souls. Like I played Demon Souls. That's the only Souls game I've ever really played that's an actual Souls game. So I haven't played Bloodborne, haven't played Dark Souls, all that. I played Demon Souls. That's it. The very first one.
Okay.
Right? So going off that experience, I think one of the ones that I could probably relate that to a lot is an indie scene game called Sinner. Like capital S, capital R. Weird. Basically, it's boss rush mode.
Yeah.
Like in terms of if Dark Souls had a boss rush.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, it's very medieval. You can tell clearly, like over the top, how much influence they had from Dark Souls and stuff like that. There's a lot there that has a lot of Soulsy like undertones. Like it's basically boss rush.
Okay.
There isn't just some hidden monsters that could kill you in some areas and stuff. You just go from boss to boss to boss basically.
So what happens if you die?
You start that over.
Okay.
And that's basically it.
Okay.
I heard that this has been a little bit, so they probably may have added the mode and stuff. I heard that they added an extra harder level, so they kind of had some more stuff to it. But for the most part, it's basically the way you would expect a boss rush mode in a Dark Souls game.
Mm-hmm.
Like you fight the bosses.
Yeah.
You learn their tails, kind of dodge and do all that, and kind of use your items and kind of get crushed. But it's not as nuanced with how the characters animate and stuff like that. There's a lot of clearly telltale signs of certain attacks are going to be certain ways. Period. And it's very blunt where those attacks are going to end up hitting and where they're going to land and all that.
Yeah.
It's very obvious every time. So it's not as hard, but a lot of the characters do pull some pretty cheap shit. And you can cheese some of the bosses. Other than that,
really?
yeah, you can. It's not many, but you can.
Okay.
One of them you could actually like kind of get the lightning on the ground. You can kind of like roll yourself onto one of the pillars and kind of lift yourself up, and the little ground crawly lightning bolts that crawl on the ground won't even hit you.
Okay.
Like there's some people that you can just hide behind the pillar, but because they zigzag, you can still kind of get hit eventually. Mm-hmm. Like it's not a failsafe if you just hide behind one, but it is a failsafe if you just stand on it.
Okay.
And I've done it a couple of times. That's basically on that, but for the most part, a lot of the other ones I've played, because going back to a couple episodes before, I like Castlevania style games.
Yeah.
Like I like Metroidvania, classic 2D Metroid and stuff like that games. I played a lot of these Soulsvania games.
Okay.
Apparently this was one of those type of game genres or subgenres that end up getting a whole new subgenre because of how many people made that game, basically made Metroidvania games like Dark Souls, like difficult and stuff.
Because I know Dead Cells kind of
Dead Cells kind of took a
whole
blunt force to it, and I did play Dead Cells and stuff, but Dead Cells is more roguelike. So when you die, you start randomly again. So it's really based on more of the roguelike elements that you can slowly earn from that kind of makes it kind of stand out differently. But I would probably wager the first one that really set that tone of difficulty for Metroidvanias was Hollow Knight, because it was very dodge type of style gameplay, and you only had this little sword-like thing called a nail because you're a bug, and it doesn't have that much range. So
like
literally,
three pixels.
It's like a swift fight attack thing. So you got to really time that like movement.
Yeah.
And because of that, it's pretty hard.
Yeah.
Right. Like for the most part, and then once you get understanding of it, that you can just bounce around everywhere.
I remember playing Blasphemous. I downloaded it. I can't wait to start it, but holy shit, it looks hard.
I would say so for some of it, but I think what really blows my mind about that game is how much like it takes a religious overtone, obviously, right? But when you really piece together the lore in that one, like it blows your mind. Like, what the hell was going on with this culture? Like, it is insane, dude.
I can't wait to start it though.
It is an amazing game. It is an amazing game. Like anybody who loves like really challenging Dark Souls like Soul Metroidvanias, like it's pretty much primo.
Well, it looks like it slathers the lore on really hard too.
It does. Like the whole reason you are even there is, and the whole reason anything is even happening is because of that lore.
Okay. Like
your character exists because of that lore. Like that's the whole like it's not just you're a hero, you're saving the world, blah blah blah. No, your character exists because of all the other stuff that's going on. Like it's legitimate. Like
that's one thing I really like about the Souls games too, is that you get the lore if you want to, but for the most part you kind of understand what's kind of going on. You but they don't force feed you the story. Yeah, no, in Blasphemous you kind of get crumbs. Okay. Everywhere. Yeah. Now you can dig a little bit into those crumbs and you're like, oh, there's some bread here too, like and stuff like that. And then once you put together the whole shit sandwich, you're gonna be like, what the hell is going on? Like, honestly, like even the people that you feel like, oh man, they're destitute
sad, miserable villagers, and they're just suffering. So, no, the moment you put everything together, you're gonna look at those villagers like, "What the fuck's wrong with you too?" Like, it's just so it's like messed up.
Yeah.
And like I kind of like that atmosphere about it.
Okay. I know. Bloodborne does a really good job at that too, because it slathers on the lore really well, and in the end, you're just like, "Oh man, we're messing with things we can't comprehend." Like it's so good.
Yeah, I saw a couple of previews of that and stuff. I haven't played Bloodborne. I haven't really done any research on the story or anything. So, a lot of Bloodborne fans, if you're out there, piss off. But
I'll play it for you guys.
he's gonna do another playthrough for all of us for our video for all the YouTube ones.
I'm almost done.
Or Rumble or BitChute, wherever you want to go to. But yes, you get to watch him play Bloodborne for like 30 years. But yeah, no, I haven't really played them, but I saw snippets and people broke down like some of the monsters, and like I've seen even on my end, like I'll just like there's this guy called Super Horror Bro that like usually breaks down like horror game monsters. And I used to watch those, and I'm not sure if he was the one that did it, but my playlist ended up analyzing one of the monsters in Bloodborne, and it was actually kind of interesting because like I'm like that's actually pretty deep in the fact that you kind of picked out all the like articulation about like it articulated story that people who weren't in the know wouldn't have like really picked out.
Yeah.
Like I'm like that's kind of impressive.
Yeah.
Still won't play the game though.
From Software is really good at doing that stuff though. So
well, I played well. They do. From Software did a lot of interesting ones anyway. Like I'm a fan of their Lost Kingdoms games.
Yeah.
They took a little bit of nuance with that approach too, but it was your story there and your lore there was very canned medieval orphan type of story. You know, like it's stuff like that. Like it made sense, but there was some subtlety there that I was like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. But like some of the cards kind of like when you start piecing together the monsters, like, oh, okay, so there's some weirder shit going on.
Okay.
But it isn't deep.
Okay.
It isn't deep. It's not like this big grandiose like scheme or anything. It's like okay, you know what? Somebody knew what something was going on in here, and then like it made sense. But
I'd say another interesting one is Little Witch No Beta. If you guys get a chance.
No idea what the fuck that thing is.
Well, it's an indie game. For the most part, it's like 90% complete. However,
play this game that's not done yet. It might have some NFTs in it. Ooh.
No, they're probably not going to do it. But
I hope not.
It's basically like a third-person shooter with anime witch girl, and it's super hard because it's still kind of like the slow-moving type of action RPG.
But anime has to be fast. Have you not seen Dragon Ball Z?
Yeah. No, but they do it really well because it's like that slow-moving type of RPG, and it's all about just shooting and knowing how to use your spells and stuff like that. And the boss fights are like just brutal as shit. So, yeah, learn to dodge really well.
Just like another Souls like I know. Actually, there's another like I want to like add to that. One of the things I wanted to talk about with the Soulsvania, even though we kind of distracted on Blasphemous, and that was actually a really good one, is Grime.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, you play as a golem with a head that's a black hole. That's literally the best way I can describe that. Everything else is golems with heads of black holes. It's weird.
Okay, this I gotta see. I never heard of
like
it
before. It's a very weighty Castlevania. Like everything's very heavy moving. Like the animations, the parry is actually pretty satisfying because you rip like flesh off of the other person during your parry.
Yeah,
and it's not
actually.
it's not flesh, but it's rock. But it's earth flesh, I guess.
Yeah, you're all golems, right?
Yeah, basically for the most part. And there's a lot of overtone on it, and like I haven't got to play all the way through it yet. I am excited to, but it's definitely one of those games. Like if you want to play Metroid and expecting Metroid type of like just Metroid with difficulty here, it does not. It doesn't even play like Castlevania. Like Castlevania even kind of has a slower pace to it, but nowhere near this. This is you're playing like golems. It's made of rock. It kind of makes sense, and like but everything else kind of like it's really weird and surreal, but at the same time it's very cohesive and just wondrous. It's amazing.
Okay.
Like I will say though, some people have had issues with it feeling more repetitive at the end, but I loved it.
Okay.
Okay. I will say there was one YouTuber called Iron Pineapple that even covered another one that was kind of like that for just a solo developer. It's supposed to be a Souls-like game. It's I think it's like Song of Iron. Honestly, it is probably the cheesiest game I've ever seen. It plays very janky and everything else. Like it's very blocky. The hit detection's broken and all that. But just play through the story. I don't want to spoil it. Like, try it out. It's hilarious. But yeah, those are the type of games I usually end up playing. I play a lot of the Soulsvania type of games that are out there, but a lot of the 3D boss rush, boss fight type games, and the ones that have that type of things, I haven't played that many.
Oh, okay.
I love Sinner because it is a boss rush one. It's focused. I would like to see more boss rush like games like that.
Oh, okay.
But moving on to it, like, what would you expect from this? Like, it's obviously the Souls-like games are gonna stick around.
Yeah.
It's a good thing for most people who are getting tired of seeing them all the time. It's still a good thing because eventually somebody's gonna do something different.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, to be fair, too, after playing Dark Souls 3, you kind of see where like this is where it's at. Like, you can't really do anything else more to it. The issue with like, because I played all of them. And when you get to 3, it's like, well, there's nothing you can really add to it. Like, you can add more stages, but that'll just be DLC. There's nothing you can really add to Dark Souls 4 anymore. Unless
they really change it up like Capcom did with Resident Evil.
Yeah.
But how much more change can you do and still feel Dark Souls
until it becomes a new IP altogether? Yeah.
Yeah. So there's questions that's still on the approach, but that doesn't mean that a lot of these things can't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's basically what I'm asking here is, what are you excited about in the future, or what would you like to see in the future that you think does something different, or what you would like to see do different
Elden Ring 2.
Elden Ring 2.
Because I'm excited for 1. Right? I'm ready for number 2 now.
I want more elders in Elden Ring 2 because I'm just going to assume that there's only one ring and there's one elder and that is it, you know. And I just need more. There's like, it's the number 2, so you have to have 2 elders and 2 rings.
Well, the funny thing is, we'll see if George R. R. Martin will come back and rewrite the new one, because it'll probably be like a complete tonal shift compared to the first one. Like, I don't think 2 is going to outdo 1, though.
Or he's just not going to do anything. He's never going to write the end. Like, what? Like, it's going to actually not actually even have an ending? Like, they actually had to write their own ending because he just was like, I'm going to go play in a plastic ball for 30 minutes. And, like, he never returned.
What is this, Game of Thrones?
It's just a whole cutscene of some paraplegic just becoming king for some reason. Like, there was no king to begin with. What the hell is this game right now? Like, that's just how it is. Oh, by the way, spoiler alert, a paraplegic becomes king in Game of Thrones. You're welcome. So, on my end, I would actually like to see, like, Dead Cells 2 eventually. Maybe. Well, hopefully.
Isn't it doing really, really well, though? So.
1 just keeps re-releasing with a complete version, and then when you buy it, it just has another DLC on it. So they just released one of their larger DLCs probably a month or 2 ago. I don't remember. I need to download it, find out what's going on.
Okay.
Queen of the Sea or something like that. It's its most recent one.
Oh, okay.
But hopefully, and from my understanding, that this is probably their last go on it, and and I think they're probably going to move on to another project entirely.
Yeah.
But I would like to see a Dead Souls 2. Namely kind of build on the not just the environments, because the environments kind of just recycle similar tiles, and once you play it enough, you can kind of predict what type of tiles you're going to look at. I would like to see more dynamic tiles and stuff like that. Tile sets for a lot of the game.
Okay.
And when I say tile sets, I don't mean themes, like how you traverse through stuff. Like, I would like to see more of that.
Okay.
Okay.
Which that also brings back to Dark Souls. If they did add like a stage editor, would be kind of cool. Just do like tile sets for like, because the chalice dungeons, each room is also like a tile as well too. In chalice dungeons, it's all like the same stuff. You kind of just do the same thing over and over and over again when you get to the boss. But something similar to that, because I like to see the most insane, messed up shit our Dark Souls community can do.
That would be nuts. I could see I could see somebody adding Gold Ronald to that.
Yeah.
So, be aware of that. But the one thing I would actually like, as more of a blander, vaguer response, is I'd like to just see like more of an adaptive boss mechanic. Like the boss rush modes, like once you figure them out, it's easy peasy.
Yeah.
Right? I want where people are like, oh, I know you're gonna fucking roll now. Like I want something that like changes midway through the game how it's gonna act around you. And you're like, what the hell? Like I want that, but like happen without you being able to understand when it happens.
Yeah.
Like what the hell? It just changed on me. Oh, he's gonna be doing this stuff now. Like I want to see something like that.
Okay.
Like I'm not saying, oh, it's gonna learn all my moves or whatever. It's gonna like notice that you roll certain ways repeatedly, and it's like, I'm just gonna swing this way from now on. And they're like, really? God damn it. Like I would like to see something like that. That would be kind of cool. Like I don't see it being as much of a programming issue as a normal adaptive AI would.
Yeah.
But I would like to see like, hey, he rolls to the right too much. I'm gonna start doing this more often. Or I'm gonna do, I'm gonna do a move that only happens because you're doing this.
Yeah.
To basically rectify you rolling to the right too much.
Well, there's also like a characters who could like, or is it bosses that could like swing behind themselves? Yeah. Because like, oh, you're gonna poke me from behind, and then bam, they hit you.
They just like lean back and fucking body slam you.
Yeah,
What the hell? Like I was not expecting that. That would be hilarious. Just some like whatever his name is, Ornstein or whatever.
Yeah.
Just tire your shit and just leans back.
Yeah.
What the fuck? It's like I wasn't expecting that. But yeah, no, that's something I would like to see.
Okay.
Like especially in stuff like boss rush modes, because there isn't many games that are boss rush modes, but I'd like to see that.
Okay.
Anything else you'd like to add?
Other than like a couple other freaky mechanics, they're like a limited respawn would be kind of interesting.
Oh, add like no, you only get to die 3 times and you get no more bonfires.
Or
you are banned from it. Be gone.
Or we'll push you back one bonfire or something like that. Yeah.
What if it's like a super hard mode where like your whole, if you die a certain amount of times, it just deletes your save file and you have to start all over again?
Well, I mean, you can make it as hard or as easy as you want to.
And it'll just make a marker on your like account, so when you do start a new save file, it's like, oh yeah, remember how many times you died the last time? Are we gonna be smart this time? That'd be hilarious. Just mock it. That'd be amusing. But yeah, no, I would definitely do that. I'd like to see a lot more boss rush modes and stuff like that. That's actually the only reason why I like the 3D ones.
Okay. But Dark Souls. It's kind of a nice thing that I like to see. That it's really nice to see what Dark Souls has brought to the gaming.
Yeah, no, like and it's not just that. Like when you look back too, Pokemon did the same thing too.
Yeah,
and so did Mario Kart.
Yeah,
like there's a lot of them. Yeah, and and honestly, like if you guys kind of like these type of discussions too about like basically what a famous franchise did to a whole genre, and made a bunch of clone likes and stuff like that, just let us know. Put a comment down in the comments and. see if you want to hear more about stuff such as Mario Kart, Pokemon, Smash, stuff like that. And yeah, we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up on for today. So I want to say thank you all for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the other side. Hey everyone, this is Paraka.
And Ghost.
I would like to say thank you for listening to our podcast.
If you like our content, give us a thumbs up. Subscribe and share our video with your friends.
You can also follow and support us on other social media such as Minds and Rumble. Links in the description below.